Ladies and gentlemen, Tom McCarthy.
Appreciate that. Great to be back at the Comedy Castle. Privileged to be on this stage. Last time I played the Comedy Castle was New Year's Eve of 2019. I think it's fair to say there's been a little bit change since then. I don't think we even had a New Year's Eve in 2020, did we? I missed it. Actually, I had to stay home with my family. Sat on the couch. First time in 15 years I didn't have a gig on New Year's Eve. Watched Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve. Did you know Dick Clark doesn't even host Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve anymore? I'm living under a rock or something? A Seacrest up there, man. I don't care if he's an asshole. I do not care. Ryan Seacrest, man. Every time you turn on the TV, is it Ryan Seacrest or Steve Harvey host every goddamn show on TV right now? Those are some happy childhood memories, man. Sitting watching Dick Clark count it down from Times Square. Do you people remember the year he missed the number 7 in his countdown? He went straight from 8 to 6. Come on, Dick Clark, stroke or no stroke, you gotta nail that, man. Where's the pride anymore, people? Someone's gonna pay you $10 million a year to count backwards from 10, you're gonna fuck it up on me, Dick Clark? 9, 8, 6. Fucked up my whole 2003, man. I'm happy to be out doing shows again, getting on the road, trying to ring the cash register. It's trying to pull together a schedule right now. It's tough. You got to take some gigs you don't necessarily want to take. I played the Greektown Casino in lovely downtown Detroit a couple weeks ago. You been to that shithole? A touch of Las Vegas glitz and glamour and Motown my ass. I walked into this place, I'm like, hey, where are all the good-looking people from the commercials? I did not see 2 beautiful blondes in cocktail dresses throwing back champagne like they got on their TV ads. I did not see some Denzel Washington-looking dude shooting dice like they got on the billboard on the lodge. I did see a bunch of people hooked up to oxygen tanks playing the nickel slots. Thank God you guys got that reference. Last night's crowd was like, I don't know what the hell he said. All right, thank God. All right. So you saw the old woman exchanging food stamps for poker chips? That should be the pure Michigan ad right there as far as I'm concerned. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Best thing about playing the Greektown Casino is in the men's room, instead of an attendant, they got an old man in there selling joints for $10. I gave him 20. I got glaucoma. Come on, potheads. I smelled half of you walking in here. Jesus Christ. Holy cow. Wow. A lot of stuff's gone on since last time I played the castle. I've learned a lot of things. Learned things I never thought I'd learn. For instance, I learned how to spend a couple $100 on groceries, throw them in my car, bring them to my house, set them up in the garage for 48 hours. Get the munchies and go down, look at you got 48 hours before you can bring them in the house. I'm a rule follower. Don't tell me you people didn't buy a space suit and an N95 mask and a face shield and wipe your groceries down. I'm like, I'll be up in a few minutes, honey. I'm wiping down the Pop-Tarts. So we can have them on Friday. Ridiculous the things we're doing during this pandemic, man. Feeling like we're getting through the end of it, I hope. I know this, in my circle of friends, I've got a bunch of people coming out of the woodwork right now saying how much better they are today than they were 18 months ago. All the self-improvement. I'm a better person after the pandemic. No, hell no. You could argue that I'm quite a bit worse, really. Got a friend who lost a bunch of weight, started running. He's running marathons now. We know a couple who adopted a baby. They didn't even like kids 18 months ago. Now they got a bouncing baby boy shipped in from some far-off land. Got a friend who got sober. I did nothing. God, it's extraordinary how little I did. You know what? I did, last March, I watched all 82 episodes of The Sopranos in a 3-week time frame. It took a lot to get through it, but I did. Well, I did do this. I fulfilled a lifelong ambition of trying to name the 3 toes on your foot that ain't got a name. You got big toe, pinky toe, nothing for these 3. I always thought that was bullshit. I mean, you could argue that the hand and the foot are equally as important. The hand's a big shot. It's got the thumb and the index finger and the middle finger and the ring finger and the pinky finger. And they give the foot nothing. Big toe, pinky toe. So I didn't get very far. I got the one in from your big toe. I called it a croner toe. I thought it sounded cool. I thought it sounded classy. Kroner. I sent out an email to my friends saying, hey, what do you guys think? You know, a little focus group. And one of the smarty pants said, you can't. That's the name of Dutch currency. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, that's what Dutch people use for money. I'm like, so I'm fucking back to square one now. I don't give up. Now, you know what? I don't know. I guess I got into mountain climbing. Well, not mountain climbing per se, but mountain climbing documentaries. Heavily invested in them. I watched this one. It's called Green Boots. Now listen up. This is one of the only truthful statements in my whole act tonight. So there's this mountain climber. He's unidentified. 25 years ago, he died on the side of Mount Everest. 27,000 feet. This guy is frozen into the side of Mount Everest for eternity. And the reason they call him Green Boots is this poor, unfortunate soul, when he expired and froze into the mountain, all you can see is his snowsuit in the gayest looking pair of lime green boots you've ever seen in your life. The most ridiculous, how the hell you get lime green? I don't know, but I imagine, like the morning of the summit attempt, Green Boots and his climbing partner, they're laying out their gear, and Green Boots is like, oh shit, I forgot my climbing boots. And his buddy's like, I got you covered, man. I brought an extra pair. I got these lime green ones here. Shit. Those things are gay, man. You wouldn't catch me dead wearing a pair of those. As fate would have it, ladies and gentlemen, every single person who has tried to summit Mount Everest over the last 25 years has caught him dead in those. You got to think ahead. You got to be prepared. None of us know when our number's going to come up. You always got to be presentable. What do you don't want to have an EMT cutting your clothes off with skid marks, do you? Be presentable. You don't know what's going to happen. I almost bit it a few years ago. I was in a bad accident about 10 years ago. Went off the road into a tree, airbags off, and I was going to a Halloween party, and there was a big prize this particular night. I'm competitive. I won't win. So, Tommy went as Winnie the Pooh. And when I mean Winnie the Pooh, I just had a red t-shirt on. I had a little makeshift jar of honey on the seat next to me, and hit a big puddle of standing water, skid off the road, man. And of course, naturally, the cops come and they think I'm messed up. They want to give me a field sobriety test, and I'm on the side of the road just in my poo outfit. And it was cold. It's Halloween, chilly. Heard one cop say to the other cop something about a little mouse peeking over a haystack. Don't know what he meant by that. I don't think it was complimentary. All right, good. We're starting with laughs. Everyone's loose. It's a Saturday night. Yay! You're making me feel comfortable. You're making me feel confident. I didn't work on a lot of new material during the pandemic. I've got friends who totally revamped their hour. Tommy only did one piece. But I am proud of it, and I think tonight's the night to put it out there for consumption. You guys seem like you can handle it. It's not, if you're cool with it, I will. Okay. It's not done. It's not completely polished. But it's a different direction for me. It's a little bit of crowd work, audience participation, okay? All right. Oh, shit. Nothing like... Okay, I just want to make sure did you know that squirrels die after having sex? At least the one I fucked did. 18 months, ladies and gentlemen. It took a while to come together. Like last fall, it started off, it was a rabbit when it started off. I'm like, who's gonna fuck a rabbit? So, I've actually got a confession to make. That joke, one of my best friends, this guy named Joe Greenwald. I call him Shecky Greenwald because he's always quick with the joke, a terrible joke. He's been one of the biggest supporters of mine. Seen me probably more than any other person. This guy's probably seen my act 100 times. And he always gives me unsolicited advice about a joke to squeeze in. Like, here, you should try this. He told me that joke. He's probably street. I don't know where the hell he got it. But here's the thing. A guy who believes in me and has seen my artistry thought a joke about somebody fucking a rodent would be the biggest laughs of the night. And God damn it, that could be quite possible. We got 40 minutes to go. Glad to be out there earning a little bit of money. This is not the most lucrative of career choices, ladies and gentlemen. I choppered in from Ann Arbor. I hope Main Street being closed didn't inconvenience anyone, but no, you kind of got to do this for the love. Shit, I'm getting paid in drink tickets and hand jobs tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Try putting that on your tax returns. QuickBooks does not have a line item for... we'll talk about that later. Don't get too eager. I will have you removed, sir. This is a classy joint. I'm a middle-aged man with no financial prospects whatsoever. That is a stressful way to stumble through life. My pension is made up entirely out of relatives who haven't died yet. You need some help down those stairs, Grandma? I know you do fun things when you're broke. I just got back from staycation. People know what that is. It's kind of a Michigan thing, right? Staycation. You pretend to go somewhere nice, but you really don't. You stay close to home. For our staycation, we took our kids to an indoor water park, like 20 minutes from our front door, man. These poor kids, man, their friends are going to like Disney World and Universal. We're like, hop in the car, gang. We're going to Frankenmuth. You're going to love it. It's just like Germany. I think the main prerequisite of vacation is wherever you're going, they got to have different TV channels than where you live, right? If you get to your hotel room and the stations are the same, you haven't gone anywhere. It's like, holy shit, honey, come check this out. Channel 2 is the same as Channel 2. Hey, baby, they got a Huel Perkins up here in Frankenmuth, too. There's some crazy parallel universe shit going on here. Water park was not my first choice. My wife wanted to go to this place, and she's had a brochure for this place in her purse for like the last 2 years. And on the front of the brochure, it's got a picture of a family zipping down a water slide. And they might just be the best looking family I've ever seen in my life. Way better looking than my family. And I told my wife this. I said, honey, what if we get to the water park and all the families look like that? I don't want me and the kids to be made fun of. Ladies and gentlemen, we could not have been more pleasantly surprised. We were the best looking people in this fucker by far, man. My wife and I were like Brad and Angelina walking around the place. Our kids are like the Olsen twins, man. People find... We got homely kids, man. Love them to death, but especially the younger one. I don't know what the hell happened there. He favors his mother. She's not here. You think I'm nuts? Come on. Oh, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. Yeah. You'd actually be surprised. She's a very handsome woman, but If you're looking to lose weight or join a gym or go on a diet, whatever the case may be, stop what you're doing right now. Get your ass to an indoor water park. Your self-esteem will skyrocket. Never felt so beautiful in my life, man. I went through the breakfast buffet line Sunday morning topless. I didn't even know a man could go topless, man. And see, I got some serious body image issues. I'm like a teenage girl. I got body dysmorphia and all this. I've been swimming with a t-shirt on since 1995. I could not keep my shirt on this whole goddamn weekend. Seriously, I went to, they got a little bar in the place, and I just put on some flip-flops and my banana hammock. I'm gonna go get a drink. We took the kids to the zoo as part of their staycation. We took them to the Detroit Zoo, and we spent a lot of time at the lion exhibit. Did you people know that one of the lions at the Detroit Zoo is actually a rescue lion? It was rescued during a raid on a drug dealer's home. This is the only other truthful statement in my act. They got a plaque. It tells the whole story. The drug dealer told the Detroit police that he was using the lion to help him with collections. That's some serious persuasion, don't you think? As if there's not enough perils to being strung out on drugs, now you got Mufasa collecting your drug debt. Pay up, motherfucker, pay up! It's frightening. Well, none of my bill collectors get any bright ideas and take their family to the zoo. Shit, I don't pay my bills, man. I owe money all over the Midwest, people. Life is short. You gotta live it up, right? Hell yeah. What are the consequences in the United States of America if you don't pay your bills? Somebody's gonna put a ding on your credit report? Woo! Better bring the jet skis back. I'm paying. I don't give a shit. Shit, I quit making my car payment this January. I was paying $525 a month for a Ford Taurus, man. It's killing me. It was breaking my back. It's the only New Year's resolution I've ever kept beyond February. It's amazing how simple it is not to pay car payment. Because I figured when I was stressing out about it, I was like, hey, this thing's got wheels. You can hide it. So now, I park my Taurus in my neighbor's garage. I give him $25 a month to hide it for me. I'm $500 to the good. Ford Credit is confused as shit, but I don't care. Bill collector doesn't scare me. Only bill collector that ever scared me in my life was the first one I ever dealt with. When I was 13 years old, I got involved in this hustle called the Columbia House Records and Tapes Club. I love the good old people tonight. They're peeing their pants. I did this last night. Everyone's Googling. Oh, shit. All right. Yeah. So this Columbia House Records, you send them a penny. They send you back 13 records of tapes of your choice. There's a lot of fine print to that deal, wasn't there? By accepting those 13 records or tapes, you now agree to pay for one at full price every single month to the day you die? Shit, I didn't realize because I wanted Purple Rain I was signing up for a lifetime of bondage and servitude, man. I did probably what you people did. I stiffed them. I didn't pay them a dime. And when I did, they put the scariest bill collector who ever lived on my ass. He was like a 75-year-old man. I think he was an extra from The Sopranos. This crazy man called up my house screaming and yelling all hours. This was the 1980s. There was no collection rules whatsoever. This crazy man called me up 6:45 in the morning threatening my life. I'm trying to get ready for the 8th grade. Great look hopping on the bus with tears running down your cheeks. Man. One time when I was in 8th grade, they called me down to the principal's office, and which was not that unusual of an occurrence. But on this particular occasion, they told me there was a phone call for me. I was like, whoa, that's weird. I was like, hello? It's a crazy man from Columbia House. Skip traced me to Dunkel Junior High. He says if I don't pay up, he's going to take all my Blondie and Genesis records and shove them straight up my ass. I think the only thing that would have scared me more is if he showed up at my junior high with Mufasa in tow. Hey, motherfucker! Oh, man, being young and dumb. How stupid to use your real name and your parents' address, right? So then I get this bright idea that I'm going to start making up fake names and having the record sent next door to Mrs. Russell, who was like 80. Her family never checked on her. I think she was losing her marbles a little bit, this poor woman. But this lady is on, I'm going to have to atone for this someday, ladies and gentlemen, but this woman is on her deathbed getting boxes of records made out to Bill Loney. I swear to God, she got Michael Jackson's Thriller made out to Hugh Jardon. I'm not proud of that in any way, shape, or form, but cool. Hey, all right. We've got, for once, this is a nice, diverse room here in Royal Oak on Saturday night. It's cool. We got some young and old. We got some black and white. We got a few that I couldn't even hazard to begin to guess, but that's cool. We're all together. It's awesome. I like seeing that. You know, I grew up in this area. I grew up a few towns over, and in the 80s, this was one of the most segregated big cities in America. There was no way to dispute it. And finally, things are moving forward and changing for the better. You see people coming together, having a good time, and I really dig that. Things were so crazy back then. I grew up probably 10 miles from 900,000 black people, and I did not have a meaningful interaction with a black person until like I was 20, 21 maybe. And when I finally did, I totally fucked it up. It couldn't have gone worse. I stepped on a black lady's bag of Doritos at the Freedom Festival fireworks. I got the shit beat out of me. Oh, yes, I did. If I look familiar to you, I was locally famous for a few days. I was on Channel 7 2 days in a row trying to explain what happened to me with my jaw wired shut. I went, I called the woman a bitch, okay? I used to leave this part of out of the story, but it's very important to the story you're about to hear. And I know, as an adult, listen, you never call a woman a bitch. You know, I know that, okay? But you never, ever, ever, ever do you call a black woman a bitch. I didn't know. There was no cultural sensitivity training at Northampton High School in 1987. I had no idea. I should not have even been in public, man. The most wasted I've ever been in my life, and that's saying a lot. Smoked a joint, drank 2 bottles of Mad Dog 2020. You Elkies are going to clap for firewater? All right, yeah, that's Mad Dog. Orange Jubilee was my jam. That's why, you know what? A little brief sidebar. When I used to drink that shit back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was $2.49 a bottle, okay? I did a gig at an American Legion Hall in Flint a couple months ago. I go into a party store up there. They got Mad Dog. $2.49 a bottle. That's amazing. That is the type of inflation I can get behind right there. That is awesome, man. Yeah, but let's get wasted off our tits and go down to a fireworks show with 1 million people. That's a great idea. So we get down to the Detroit riverfront, and me and my buddy, the first thing we had to do is go to the restroom. And I'm trying to weave my way through this mass of humanity, and my equilibrium was seriously dusted, man. I took a wrong step, and you just hear this kaboom! It was like a bomb went off, man. I thought maybe the show had started early. And I looked down, man, it was bad. It was one of the 1-pounders. I think they call it a party bag. Blew both ends of it out. Little Doritos dust floating up into the atmosphere of Hart Plaza. And this bag of chips was going to be very central to this woman's enjoyment of the fireworks show. And my wasted ass, disrespectful suburban foot is right in the middle of it. And she flipped her lid, man. She went nuts, man. She comes screaming and yelling at me. We're face to face. I'm getting covered in spittle. I'm like, I've hardly ever spoken to a black person before, God, and this is how it's going to go down? Great. Oh, man. Tommy was in a pickle, man. My heart was racing. And what she said to me, it was so profound. I remember it all these years later. I find myself using it all the time. She said, what you going to do now, you dumb motherfucker? Help. My friend kept walking. Then I got this bright idea. I remembered I had $5 in my pocket. I'm going to offer it to the lady. They taught me about reparations at Northampton High School. I bet she'll appreciate the gesture. She did not. She slapped the money in my hand away, and that's when it got physical. She grabbed me by my Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood tour shirt that I love so much. I love that. I had my senior pictures taken both times in that bad boy. And she grabbed me by my shirt and she hit me over the head 3 times like I was a giant Pez dispenser. She just went boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, hey, lady, listen, I'm sorry about your chips, but you don't have to be such a bitch about it. Oh, that's what 1 million people said. Oh. I swear to God, a historian told me it was the first time that the phrase, oh no, he didn't, was uttered, but yeah, so I said, listen, again, lady, I'm sorry. Called her a bitch, and then she did that perfectly calm but completely batshit crazy thing that I think women of all shapes, sizes, colors, and creeds do so well. She said, bitch. Bitch. Your motherfucking foot is in my bag of Doritos, and I'm a bitch? Ain't that something? Duane Trey, he thinks I'm a bitch. Duane and Trey were her nephews. They later went on to be Pro Bowlers for the Baltimore Ravens. They beat the shit out of me. Whoa, boy. Guys, I think it's called turtling, fellas, when you just kind of do that. And anyone ever get their ass beat so bad that somehow you lose your t-shirt in the whole deal? That's a great look. Ruined my enjoyment of fireworks shows to this day. If I'm within 10 miles of a firecracker going off, I'll piss my pants and have an epileptic seizure. They don't sell chips in here, do they? Anybody ruffles plastic near me, I gotta stick a goddamn EpiPen in my thigh or I'll swallow my tongue. All right, good. Thank you for that. All right. Thought I'd do something tonight. So during the pandemic, I know we've all gone through so much. In a lot of ways, the virus and the political shit and all, that was the least of my worries. I lost both of my dads during the pandemic. I'm adopted, so lost my adoptive father and biological father about 90 days apart. So again, all the shit that's been going on has been the least of my worries. So now that I'm getting back on the road and doing gigs again, I thought I would honor them by roasting them. And my adoptive father lost the coin flip backstage, so he's going to get it for tonight's performance. He was an interesting guy. He was a funny guy. He loved gadgets and he loved maps. Those were like his 2 favorite things. So 1 year for his birthday, we got him a GPS. What's better for a guy who likes gadgets and maps, okay? So he had this thing for about 6 months, and he did not use it to get to one place that he doesn't know how to get to. All he did with this thing was plugged in the 3 or 4 places he goes to all the time to see if he agreed with the way the GPS was bringing him in. He would put in the bank, the post office, the barber shop, the hardware store, and he'd call me up every single night complaining, saying, this thing doesn't know what it's doing. I'm like, Dad, why don't you wait to, why don't you wait till you go on vacation or a road trip or to Florida? Use it then. See if it works for you then. He said, I'm not going to use it if I don't trust it. And I was like, so a well thought out, well-meaning birthday present that he had to build trust with. He's a funny dude, man. He was into conspiracy theories. Not like huge conspiracy theories. Like, I'm pretty sure he knew that man landed on the moon and that Elvis is probably dead and that George Bush and his buddies didn't fly the planes into the Trade Center. Or did they? But he was into conspiracy theories, kind of little ones. Like, for instance, in the neighborhood we grew up in, there was 6 or 7 houses that had a caution deaf child at play sign out front, okay? So I always thought that was weird, and I asked my dad one time, I said, hey, Pop, how come we've got all these deaf children at play signs in this neighborhood? Is there like a special home or a school or something? And he said, I wouldn't be so surprised that it's not some type of scam. What, scam? What the fuck would be the motivation? Somebody gets their jollies watching people drive cautiously in front of their house? I said, Dad, that's stupid, man. It makes no sense. And he said, well, listen, I've been driving that house on the corner. I've been driving by there for 5 years. Those kids out front, they don't look deaf to me. I was like, Pop, man, you love Stevie Wonder's music, and he doesn't sound blind. And in the same, He didn't get the mind fuck I was trying to lay on. Yeah, he's a funny guy. I mean, hey, I've noticed, one of the things about aging is everyone in this room, here's what aging is. Day by day, slowly but surely, every single person in this room is turning into either their mother or father. It's inevitable. I mean, we don't want to admit, but it's happening. Like, for me, it's kind of in subtle ways. Like, lately, I've noticed over the last year or so now, whenever I go to speak, I clear my throat just like my old man always did. He was some stupid bullshit's about ready to fall out of my face. Anytime I go and pay more than a few bucks on something, I gotta get 3 quotes. Get 3 quotes, son. Don't be a sucker. Get 3 quotes. I got into town tonight. I've craven my pre-show latte. So, of course, I got to go to Atomic Coffee. I go to Bigby. I go to Starbucks. I waste 45 minutes and probably 2 gallons of gas to save 35 cents on a medium latte. Thank you, Pop. Your son is an informed consumer. You did well. Anytime a car that I'm not familiar with uses my driveway to turn around and I absolutely lose my shit. Who do we know's got a brown Buick? My dad would go bananas, man. Our dining room table faced the street. Whenever somebody would turn around our driveway, we'd get up and go to the window. Get the kids to the basement. I thought we were mobbed up. I swear to God, I thought we were in witness protection until I was 18 years old, man. And now I do it to my family. It's just a reaction. Oh, shit. But he's an all right guy. He's an all right. If I'm turning into him, that's okay. He was a good man. He was a fine man. He was old school, went through a lot of adversity in life, and just took it on his chin, kept moving. The biggest event in our life when we were younger, we lost our mother when I was 4, my brother was 5. She died in an accident. So my dad, in the 1970s, had to raise 2 little boys on his own. And he did an all right job. I'm a stand-up comic. My brother is incarcerated. Knocked it out of the park, Pop. I tried bringing some normalcy into our life. After my mother's accident, it's about 4 or 5 months after, he wanted to get us on a routine. So on a Friday night, he goes and takes my brother and I out to dinner in the movies. He took us to go see Bambi. I know. Wasn't there fucking Siskel and Ebert or Entertainment Weekly back in the day? Could you read what the fucking movie's about, please? The previews look promising. But man, when those hunters were coming down on Bambi's mom, I lost it, man. I jump out, I go running out of the theater. My dad's chasing after me. I go out in the lobby, I'm bawling my eyes out, and the sweet little teenage girl who was working the popcorn stand, she said, "Sir, is your son okay? Is everything all right?" And he said, "Yeah, it's just that he lost his mother earlier this year." And she said, "What the fuck you bringing to Bambi for? You some kind of retard or something?" It was just a different connotation back then. I ought to call Child Protective Services on your ass. You want that child to grow up to be a stand-up comic someday, for crying out loud? Oh, man. Sure, everyone talks about triggers right now. Try being triggered by a deer and living in the Midwest, man. I bawled my eyes out 6 times on the drive here today. It's deep inside of me. All right, that's done with the roasting portion of that. He'd enjoy the laughs. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Oh, shit. Trying to make ends meet. Another real unfortunate gig I had to take, just because I had to take it, was I got hired to do stand-up at a Rush event for a fraternity at the University of Michigan. Yeah. Bunch of overprivileged 22-year-old hipster dickheads thought it would be a great idea to hire a middle-aged comic for their Rush event with his whimsical Dick Clark impression and stories of water parks. Yeah. I swear to God, the night before the gig, I spent like an hour trying to write jokes about TikTok and cryptocurrency. I want to be hip. Please, lambda lambda assholes, love me. That's how narcissistic I am. It was terrible. 45 minutes in the living room of this house, no one even cracked a smile. I think they had all roofied each other. No one could even... Fucking terrible, man. Jesus, some of the gigs I've had to take. And I know a couple of them are making fun of me. I kind of wanted to lay into them, but it's whatever you people do for a living, you always got to be professional, right? You don't want to mess it up, so I bit my tongue. And actually, if you've been to any comedy show in the last few years, the joke du jour out there is comics making fun of kids, making fun of younger people, millennials, whatever the case may be. I don't do it. I stay above the fray. Because I'm not going to make fun of somebody I envy, okay? My best friend in comedy, he's 22 years old. He's a hipster. I love the way he looks at the world. I find it refreshing. I haven't had a 22-year-old friend in nearly 27 years. It's been a new lease on life for me. I'm going to make fun of him. I've learned a lot from him. I would do some of the things he does if I could. I'd grow a big bushy beard if I could. This is 3 days growth right here. I'm not a hairy person. Like a giant swimmer up here. I got like no body hair whatsoever. Got a big furry bush. Got a 1975 Hustler magazine bush for some reason. Looks like a chia pet with a big dick sticking out of it. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen, but I'd wear a tight t-shirt with an ironic saying on it if my middle-aged gut and man boobs look good with a tight t-shirt and ironic saying on it. I'd get a 3 times too small little Nestle Quick t-shirt with a rabbit pounding chocolate milk. Great look, man. I'll drive a Prius for that matter. If getting called a fag at stoplights didn't hurt my feelings so bad, I'd drive a Prius. Who wouldn't? The only thing that troubles me is I think from time to time he and his hipster friends are doing things just for attention. For instance, last year at this time, 3 of them get together and they decided at the age of 22 that they're going to live the rest of their lives without drugs or alcohol. See, I can't say it without laughing. Way to think it through. Way to think. 22 years old, okay? You're never going to drink. All right. And I said, what are you doing this for? Are you just doing this for attention? And he said, no, I'm doing it because I want to be able to face all the adversity that life brings me with a completely clear mind. It's like you're 22 years old, man. What type of adversity have you faced? You didn't like your roommate freshman year? Your glow stick malfunctioned at the Dead Mouse show? You couldn't download your Lollapalooza tickets to your iPhone 12? I'm 52 years old, man. I can tell you about adversity. Let's suppose one day you bounce back-to-back mortgage payments. You might want to twist one up for that. That is stressful as hell. How about on the off chance you walk in, catch your wife banging her Pilates instructor for the second time that you know of? You might want to hang out with Uncle Jack for that one. Go. How about in a snowball's chance in hell, you find yourself a middle-aged comic kicking around the B circuit of the upper Midwest and Southern Ontario, recording an album in the middle of a goddamn classic car weekend. Shit. I really thought that one out. You might want to have a fucking 8-ball in your pocket for that eventuality. Well, that got dark. That's autobiographical. Got barfed on in a Denny's restaurant in Omaha, Nebraska. You guys think showbiz is glamorous? Sitting there waiting to get seated. Car broke down. Had to wait it out in this Denny's restaurant. This old elderly woman is shuffling up towards us. She was trying to get to the bathroom, and she just projectile vomits all over me and my buddy. Covers us from the waist down. Just nasty, early morning, old lady, coffee, orange juice, bile, a little bit of oatmeal. Welcome to Nebraska. The most random thing, random shit happens. What the fuck has just happened to me? And nobody said anything to me and my buddy. They go to attend to the lady, her family, everyone working in the place. They're over there. What are we supposed to do? So we go into the bathroom, and I'm kind of pissed off. I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. I'm going to ask to speak to the manager. And I did it in the douchiest voice, because that's the only voices you use when you want to speak to the manager, don't you? I want to speak to the manager. He said, what the hell is it going to do? I said, I don't know. He should know. So we go out there, we get seated, and I said to the waitress, I said, I'd like to speak to the manager. All right, so she sends the manager over. And he comes over, and I swear to God, his name was Dennis. I thought that was terribly ironic. It gave me the giggles, his little Denny's with the Dennis. And he said, gentlemen, is everything okay? Is there anything I can do for you? I said, well, yeah. Me and my buddy just got barfed on in the front of your bullshit Denny's restaurant. No one even said sorry. Well, I mean, what the hell? And he goes, oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She's a regular. She hasn't been feeling well. Yes, are you guys doing okay? No, I'm feeling terrible. What a self-absorbed asshole that I'm making it about me. This poor woman could be dying for I know. And I told him, I said, listen, Dennis, I'm sorry. I'm just, it was just weird. It's not your fault that this old lady goes out in public and throws up on people. I know that. So he said, fellas, have you ordered? And I said, well, yeah, I'm having the ham and cheese omelet. My buddy's having the French toast. He said, well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and order an additional side, and they'll put it on me. The generosity, Dennis. An extra side. What's the guy got to do to get a free meal in this place, Dennis? Does the lady have to shit on me? I get barfed on and I'm getting hash browns out of the deal, Dennis? They were good though, man. Denny's hash browns. All right, so I am, this thing's coming out in the fall, so look for it. If you follow me on Facebook and social media, I'll let you know when it's coming out. Before we close it out, I thought I'd do something a little bit cheesy and sentimental that will probably get edited out, but it's playing, this is my second time headlining the Comedy Castle. For any Midwest comic, especially someone growing up in the Detroit area, you people are so lucky. The Comedy Castle is one of the biggest clubs in America. Prestigious, it's a big deal, so we're lucky to have it. And way back when when I first started doing stand-up, I had a set at the Laugh Factory out in Los Angeles where a bunch of my friends, I was talking myself out, they came out to see me, and I bombed as hard as a human being could bomb. I bombed myself into semi-retirement for almost 15 years. Moved back to Michigan, and as fate would have it, I lived just a few blocks north of the castle. When I moved back to Michigan, I drove past this place. For years, I couldn't go in it. It was just too painful. And so to be here with you people recording an album, it's just badass. It's worth the struggle, all the rejection, all the open mics, all the crazy things, all the people I had to sleep with. Come to find out, most of them were not affiliated with the Comedy Castle. It's cool, and I got my wife and my mom, my son, I got cousins, I got brothers, I got sister-in-laws, I got friends, and all of you. That's cool. I'm glad everyone's out here tonight. So, but that will be edited out. That doesn't sell. That does not sell. All right, so we recorded last night, recording tonight, so I'm interchangeable. My closer, I can do 1 or 2 closers tonight, because I've already got one in the bag, okay? So I'm going to let you guys vote. You guys have been so awesome. You can pick... I'll just give you an overview. One is a PG. It's a funny story. I enjoy doing it. Well, hold on. You people are the reason democracy no longer works. I want it my way now! I enjoy PG, funny, good feel, and then the other one, it's an R. It's probably a hard R. So let's... All right. This story may not make the cut that I'm trying to sell at Walmart, okay? So I got thrown out of a Detroit Tigers game a couple years ago for swearing. I said the phrase, get the fuck out of here, in response to this crazy story that my friend had been telling me. And an usher, this man, overheard us and threw us out. I don't even play Major League Baseball, and I'm getting thrown out of Major League Baseball games for swearing. It was kind of a low point, but some context. My good friend Mark has been unlucky in love. Never been married. Something always goes wrong, and he wanted to catch up with me down at the ball game to tell me about this girl he met. I was like, okay, well that's cool. I go down. The Tigers haven't been that good the last couple of years, so I'm walking around just with my $8 baseball drink, listening to him talk. He's telling me about Tinder, and another brief sidebar. Tinder, that's a hell of a thing, man. That's amazing. You just download an app to your phone and push a button, you can be boning a stranger by midnight? That's amazing. I like where things are going. That is incredible. Man, back in my day when Tommy was horny, I had to send out a blast fax. It was like, I just hit a button. Man, that's crazy. But so he's telling me he meets this girl on Tinder, and they have their first dinner, and he said it was the best date he had been on in 10 years. He said, if anyone in this room is in love or has been in love, you know that electric feeling at the start, you know? He said he felt that like within 10 minutes with this girl. So they have this nice dinner, and then they have drinks, and then they have more drinks, and they end up at this girl's apartment, and they engage in a particular sex act that I'm meeting most of you people tonight for the first time, okay? So I'm not gonna get real graphic on you, you know? I'm not gonna, it's one of those type of things that you gotta know someone pretty well to bring this one up. I've known my wife for 25 years. I have not brought this one up. It's one of those type deals that having a few drinks in you, if not a muscle relaxer or two, is a... But again, don't know you people real well. I'm not going to get real graphic on you. But Mark tells me he wakes up the next morning and he goes into the bathroom to go take a leak, and there is a bean stuck to the tip of his penis. So, what the? I came down for the fucking baseball game, dude! I thought we were going to hang on a bean? You talking like a lime bean or a baked bean? What the hell? You voted. You voted. He said, I don't know, man. I freaked out. I flicked it off. I flushed it down. I said, get the fuck out of here. How can you not, ladies and gentlemen? I defy you. I take the most conservative person in this room, which looks like a few of you right now. If somebody tells you a story that culminates with there was a bean stuck to the tip of my penis, you're going to say, get the fuck out of here. What else are you going to say? So I said it, this usher, this old 75-year-old man, this old dirty old pervert was following us. And he gets us in a bear hug like he was in physical pain. He just said, no, no, no. Gentlemen, Comerica Park is a family-friendly environment. I'm going to call bullshit on that. Family-friendly? The first time I went to Comerica Park, I took my son when he's 5 years old. I took him to opening day. We go into the men's room. There's some skank peeing in the sink, wiping herself with a little Caesar's napkin. And now it's family-friendly? Now it's family-friendly? And I was feeling my oats, man. I was getting like amped up. Are you gonna kick me? Are you serious? And then he got on his little walkie-talkie deal and called the swear word police. He got right on there. There's a name, there's some type of code for it. He called in a code to section 114. I can't believe that's in their training. Threw us out, man. Third inning, probably about $150 worth of tickets and beers, and we're gone. And I had like a 45-minute ride home. And for the first 5 minutes, I was pissed, man. I was stewing in it. But then for the next 40 minutes, I could not stop thinking about what type of bean it might have been. I swear, it's a couple of years after the fact. It's in the back of my mind all the time. So I get home. I figure I'm going to go all CSI on it, man. I'm going to do a deep dive. So I texted Mark. I said, hey, man, did you go out for Mexican? And I thought this was a grown-up show. I thought we were going to cover some adult themes tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to half-ass it. If you're going to do a thorough investigation, like a pinto bean or a refried bean's got to be at the top of your list of suspects, wouldn't you think? That's where I would start. He said, no, man, Italian, so... Here's where I'm at with things right now. As of right now, I'm thinking it might not have been a bean at all. I'm thinking it could have been a chickpea. You voted. The first time I told this story was at a club in Windsor. When I got to that part, this sweet old woman, she had to have been 80 years old. She stood up from the back of the club and she yelled out, she said, "It's not a bean at all, it's a rolled up ball of shit." That is the least Canadian thing I have ever heard in my life. I think they should replace "Oh Canada" with this woman's Tourette's outburst, man. Oh, shit, man. Yeah, so now I'm obsessing on it. Now I'm obsessing. Like, I climb under the covers and I'm Googling. I'm like, how long does it take to digest a bean? Google was like, "Come again, fam?" And now, shit, I've woken my wife up. Oh, shit, great, So she kind of leans over and she's like, "Well, hey, hon, how's Mark doing? How's the ball game?" And I was at, 2 o'clock in the morning, got the house to ourselves. I'm so ashamed of myself. I'm whispering for some reason. I'm like, "Well, yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. Tinder, he met that girl and the drinks, and I drank lots of drinks and back to her, and a bean stuck to the tip of his penis." She shot up. She shot up in the middle of the night. She leaned over, reached over to her nightstand, turned on her little night light, and she looked me dead in the eyes, and she said, "Get the fuck out of here." Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Love you guys.